What's the creepiest thing you've experienced that still gives you chills? 1. Laying in bed, felt someone staring at me. Look at my closet, door was open, and there was a woman crouched and looking at me. Not moving. Blinked and she was gone. The next day my friend, we lived in a dorm, told me they had a nightmare and woke up to a woman leaning over them looking down at their face. His description was the same as the woman I saw. Other similar stories happened, but that's a lot to type. 2. I've posted this on a similar thread before, but it's hands down the creepiest thing that's ever happened to me. During lockdown, my husband and I would dream eerily similar things. The worst one was when I dreamt that I was helping a clown in my back garden to dig a big hole. We dug and dug for what seemed like forever until the clown suddenly stopped and whispered into my ear, "You just dug your own grave." I woke up in such a panic that I woke my husband up and he said he'd been having an awful dream too. Without missing a beat, he told me that he dreamt that the devil came to take me away, and the devil was dressed like a clown. 3. Hearing footsteps upstairs when I was home alone and realizing they stopped when I did. 4. I was at a crosswalk in New York when a guy wasn't paying attention. A bus was barreling toward him, so I reached out and tried to grab his hoodie to yank him back to safety. I managed to snag it with one finger, but he was walking too fast, it slipped right off. He got hit and passed right there in front of a group of about 20 of us. If only I'd seen him half a second sooner. 5. About a week after our dog Bandit passed away, myself, my husband and our son, who was 7, were all sitting and watching a movie in our family room. Our house was a tri-level and the family room was on the bottom floor. At one point I looked over and I saw Bandit come down the stairs, walk in front of the TV, turn around and go back up the stairs. Later that evening when I was putting my son to bed, he told me that he thought he saw Bandit earlier. I asked him when, and he said when we were watching the movie he saw Bandit come into the living room and then go back upstairs. I told him I saw Bandit too. It was actually comforting, and it's always been our special thing. 6. I don't know about creepy, but I got 2 good stories. One time, shortly after my grandma passed, our heater stopped working. My dad went in the crawl space at 2 a.m. in absolute freezing weather, lit the pilot and came back up. About 10 minutes later the heat went off. He did this a few more times, then we all bundled up for the night and waited till morning. First thing the next day, guy shows up. He comes back up a while later and tells my dad there is no reason your pilot light should have kept going out, but if it hadn't, y'all would have gone to sleep and never woken up from carbon monoxide. Second story, I was 17 and had just got my license, so I was allowed to drive by myself, instead of a learner's permit. I was on a straight road coming up on a green light. I had my graduation tassel hanging from my rear view mirror. All of a sudden the tassel started swinging violently as if I zigzagged the car real hard, but I was still going straight. Then lightly in my head I swear I heard bells. Like quiet church bells. Not loud. I slammed on my brakes for no reason right at the green light and watched as a car doing like 70 in a 45 flew through the red light. Then I took my foot off the brake, went through my green light and pulled into a parking lot where I thought about it all. I didn't panic. I didn't know what any of it meant. And I have no idea why I hit the brakes, just because some strange little things were happening.